career choice, whereby large, violent black men and white men chase you. They pay them large sums of money to run you down and stomp you into the mud. Have you seen him lately? He looks like he's 90 years old. The whole time he's running from large, violent men, trust me, and living a way more stressful life. Old Rob here, I'm down there shooting ducks. Add it up any way you want to. Well, he made a lot of money. I haven't done bad. See, everybody's got their own little niche in America. That's what's great about it. Wood duck. That's him flying. If he's sitting, he'll go. Therefore, if you hear one, he's flying. You need to be sitting. Because if you give him a flying call, he's flying, you're flying, everybody's flying, nobody knows where to come back to. So if he's flying, you hear him coming across the top of the trees, you need to go like you're sitting. He'll come down there and get in there amongst you. Here you go. So as you would on your mallard hen calls, here's one. Here's what they call a duck picker, what you Pennsylvania girls ought to be doing for you men. You see, when y'all come in and settle this Pennsylvania, I guarantee you these Pennsylvania women were out there helping the men skin the deer and hanging their meat up and tanning the hides. They were helping them pick the ducks. That's back when our forefathers were here. You know they were. Boys, that got away from us, didn't it? These yuppie girls, they ain't picking no duck. So we're biblically sanctioned to kill ducks, catch fish, eat bullfrogs. We get all our children. We gather around the table. We have a big bunch of ducks, dressing, centerpiece. Teal, wood ducks, strategically placed in a big roaster in the middle of the table. Just like they had in 1776. We thank God for the ducks. We teach our children who love God, love their neighbor, and shoot ducks. I never got around to buying a suit. I'm never on the cell phone. I've never turned on a computer. Someone says, the man does not know what he is missing. Pennsylvania. But I do. I know exactly what I'm missing. Are you with me here? Just clutter. Too much clutter. $50 billion are being spent on drugs for depression. $50 billion. Somebody out here is not happy. Or they wouldn't be spending $50 billion on drugs for depression. What's wrong with them? Telling you. So, everybody's going 6 feet deep. You call that fact. Number 2. It was James Madison. I think he was president number 4. He said, the success of our new nation will not depend on this Constitution, but on the laws of God this Constitution is based on. Again, he said, the success of our new nation does not depend on the power of government. And look around now. Oh, oh, oh. Man, we need some more James Madisons and George Washingtons and Andrew Jacksons and Thomas Jeffersons. Woo-hoo. The success of our new nation does not depend on the power of government. Far from it. What does it depend on, the success of the United States of America? President Madison? It depends on the ability of each of ourselves to govern ourselves according to the moral principles of the Ten Commandments. That's what your presidents were saying a couple hundred years ago. You say, what did he mean by that? If we all live by the Ten Commandments, our country will rise to great heights. Pennsylvania, you shall have no other gods before me. Don't make for yourselves an idol in the form of anything in heaven or on earth and bow down to it. Birds, animals, reptiles, pieces of wood with faces on it, rock outcroppings, nature itself. Don't do that. God said, don't do that. I am the Lord. You bow down to me and me only. Don't misuse my name. Oh my goodness. Pennsylvania? Do we ever misuse his name? All your movies, GD this, GD that. I'm thinking, oh. The fellow calls up to order a duck call. Hello, duck commander. In the process of ordering a duck call, he repeatedly is cursing God. And I'm listening to it. So after about the 5th time, I said, let me ask you something. I'm getting his name, address, his credit card number. He's making a purchase. So let me ask you something. Why would you keep cursing the only one who could save you from death? There was silence. I said, you still there? He said, yeah, I'm here. You got my order, Hoss? I said, I got your order. Oh, he hanged up. 10 minutes goes by, ring. Hello, Duck Commander. He said, hey, it's me again. I said, well, the question's still on the table. Why would you curse the only one who could save you from death? That's what all this boils down to, Pennsylvania. They curse the God of the cosmos. Why? Have you ever wondered why? Why him? I didn't think he was there. So the fellow calls back and says, Mr. Robertson, yeah, I've never thought about that. I said, well, son, you are too. Why pick him? I said, let's see, where are you from? Alabama. I said, you know what you ought to do? He said, what's that? I said, you're about 10 hours away driving. I said, you ought to load up and you ought to come over here and I'll tell you a story about the one you've been cursing. I'll bet you'll quit cursing him once I tell you about it. He said, I may do that. I said, you ought to. Oh. A week later, knock on the door. Come in. This fellow steps in the door and he said, you know who I am? I said, I don't think I do. He said, I'm that fellow from Alabama who was cursing God. I said, so you did come. He said, I got to know. I said, come on in here. I told him when I fixed to tell y'all. He and his buddy, he had a buddy with him. You know what they did? They cried. They bawled like babies right on my living room floor. I walked them down there on the river.